Hello everyone, today is November 9th. It is a Thursday, 9:04 a.m. Welcome to another episode of Crypto Wars. Lots of news coming out, a lot's happening. You know, we're seeing a lot of increase in volatility. We're seeing a lot going on. Anyways, so Segwit 2x has been canceled. It never really was set in place in my opinion. All forks are, when they're scheduled, they're either scheduled to go through or not go through. That's why they're scheduled. Because if they don't meet that date, then they won't go through. And 2x is very unnecessary because you already have Bitcoin Cash, which is 8 megablock sizes. So why go to 2 megablock sizes with Segwit? It's kind of unnecessary to have both, I guess, because you already do have both, and that's what Bitcoin Cash kind of gives the option for. So it makes sense, and you might see people dumping BTC for the sake of, I don't know, price suppression. Maybe Segwit 2x was never supposed to go through in the first place. Maybe this was more of a plan to suppress the price. Also, I think maybe now people don't have a reason to hold BTC, so now they're moving back into the altcoins, which we're seeing a lot. Well, we're seeing the value of the altcoins go up tremendously in terms of Bitcoin and things, which was bound to happen because they corrected so much. Right now, though, I think things are very sensitive. You have a very sensitive and volatile market. It's still very new. Also, though, there's a lot of movement going on in the indexes. If you look at the indexes, the futures is down for the Dow almost 100 points, and we're not even open yet. So you can imagine it's probably going to go down 200 points. The gold mining, junior miners are going crazy as well. So there's a lot of movement going on, I'd say. There's a lot of cash moving. It's getting a little intense. It's a little much. It's funny how every day is so boring, and every day is so, I don't know how to explain it. It's just 2 years of just lag kind of thing. And then once it starts fast, and you have to have an exit strategy in place. You have to be ready to, you spend so much time waiting, you're not even prepared when things do come, or when bull runs happen, when you see this type of market movements, and because you're not used to it, because investing, that's why investing is tricky. You're just kind of used to doing research, and you're used to just speculating on things. You're not used to handling volatility, because that's the whole point of investing, right? You get into something before it catches on. So you're not used to the market trades, and you're not used to this type of movement. So it's one of those things where you're not going to be ready for it when it comes, but you kind of have to be. You have to at least adapt somewhat when it does. So it's wild, crazy times. I mean, the indexes, I think it's looking really sensitive right now. It's going to be an interesting, the fall is always, market's usually downtrend in the fall. It's usually what happens, right before Christmas. You see usually huge downtrends, or even around Christmas. A lot of times in January, when there's a big, the markets close for long periods of times, like they do over holidays and things. Usually that triggers a lot. It's a catalyst, because I think sometimes markets opening and closing can be the biggest catalyst. News breaking in between those open and closings and things like that. So not even necessarily opens and closings, but just normal business hours and things like that, when certain economies wake up. That's normal business hours. So, because in the crypto space there is no opening and closing, so but it opens and closes on its own naturally, sort of thing. Like you wake up with a ton of other people, so same thing. Yeah, but interesting times to be alive. I watched this Roger Ver interview talking about Bitcoin Cash, and that's one thing he said that it kind of hit me. It's like, yeah, it is an interesting time to be alive. Like that's a good way to look at it. Can be stressful, but you just got to see past it and see the truth. So keep an eye on the indexes. Keep an eye on the gold miners. Keep an eye on the space. Just be ready. All right, peace.